Do you need some mortgage broker marketing examples? Are you looking for ways to attract clients as a mortgage broker, to get more referrals from real estate agents as a mortgage broker? I'm Nick Carpenter from Legion of Loan Officers. You're in the right spot. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Now, I know the board looks a little whack right now because it just says like WK1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to show you like a whole monthly plan that anybody can execute. This is very simple. Doesn't have to take a lot of extra thought, and there's literally zero cold calls involved in this. And this, what it's going to do is, most people need some kind of daily or weekly or monthly plan to follow in order to accomplish something. If they just see this end place, this end destination, but they're not sure the path to get there, most people just can't figure it out. So what I'm going to do is just lay out a real simple plan. You can just copy this and just do it in your business, okay? So what you're going to do is each week is going to have a specific purpose in order to get to this end goal. Now, what's the end goal? The end goal is how to get mortgage clients, like as a mortgage broker, how to get clients. And what we want to do is we want to get those clients from real estate agents, because I'm sure we can agree, and let me know in the comments if you disagree, but getting a referral from a real estate agent is such a better quality lead than getting anything off the internet, right? If you look at your conversion rates, it's going to be significantly higher if it comes as a referral than if it comes through cold marketing on the internet. Obviously, I'm a fan. You can go back and look at some other videos. I'm a fan of using Facebook ads and Instagram ads, YouTube ads, and things like that. But I also recognize that getting referrals is the best way. Like if you want to get clients as a mortgage broker, getting referrals from realtors is by far the best way you can do that. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, this entire plan is going to be based on doing a once a month event for realtors. Now, the event is going to occur in week 2. Okay, so this is when we're going to run the event over here, and everything is going to be based off of that event. Now, when should you do the event? At least in my experience, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, those are going to be your best days to do the events. Why do you think that is? Well, on Mondays, realtors are typically following up with stuff that happened over the weekend, right? They're negotiating the contracts, they're getting stuff to the title company if they got a contract secured. They're focused on business that happened over the weekend. On Fridays, they're getting ready for the business that's going to be happening the upcoming weekend. So they don't care about your class, or they don't care about learning or coming to your events. They're focused on getting to the money, all right? So at least in my experience, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday has been the best, but you could try and see like what you think. Maybe you find a different time. And so that's what's going to be based on in week 2. Now, how are we going to get people to this class, right? Because if you're going to go after realtors, we have to figure out a way to get them to the class. So what we're going to do is in week 1, we're going to do promotion, right? So we're going to promote the class. You can, over here, if you want to, you can run a Facebook ad if you have a couple of dollars to use as an ad. But more than anything else, what's going to benefit you the most to get people to this class in week 2 is if you have partners promoting, okay? So you got to have some partners that are promoting your event. Who should promote the event? Well, it could be a title company, a title representative, an insurance agent, a home inspector, a pool company, landscaper, roofer, we could keep going, right? There's probably like other ones, interior designers. Just think about a home warranty company. Think about who already has an audience of realtors, okay? There are people who already have the people you want as an audience in their audience. And we want to go to them and partner with them and get them to promote the class. At least one way that you can get this done is basically go to them and ask them to sponsor your event. And when they ask you how much is it, tell them, I don't need your money, I need your promotion. I need you to tell all your people about it and get me some people to show up, right? That's it. As long as you do that, I'm going to tell everybody you're a partner, and we're going to be able to do great things together. So that's how, at least I think, is the best way, is to get partners to promote the class, and that way you have people show up. Just imagine, for example, if you have 3 partners and you get each one of them to commit to 5 people, plus what you're doing, right? we're talking about 20 people. We're talking about getting 20 people to show up in a room. I mean, if you could get 20 realtors to show up into your class every single month, you're going to get 3 referral partners out of this process right here every month if you get 20 people to show up. That's at least my statistics. Sometimes it might be higher, sometimes could be a tiny bit lower. We've converted as much as 66% of a room into referral partners with us before, okay? But I don't think that's normal, which is why I think normal is more like 15%, okay? So just think about that. Three partners, 3 companies that are helping you promote the class, along with yourself doing it. We're talking about having 20 realtors show up for a class here, okay? That would be a giant deal. That would be a really, really huge deal. So you're going to host the event. You got to find a place to do it, what you're going to teach and that stuff. You know, you could use a title company, you could use a co-working space, or just rent a conference room from, you know, Regis or DaVinci or some of these websites that has rooms for rent. And you're going to run the event this week right here. That's all you're focused on, is running the event this week. You can talk about the event on social media. You can be inviting people through private messages and all that kind of stuff. But the event itself is what's really important. All right. Now, what should you teach at the event? I think you should teach marketing. Okay. You could teach stuff about mortgages. You could teach, there's a lot of topics you could decide to go for. I think marketing is the best. If you need some ideas, grab a copy of the Little Black Book of Realtor Events on Amazon. It's a really cheap, I think it's $6.97, and it's got 13 different ideas inside that you can use, right? If you need some ideas, excuse me, on what makes a great realtor event, because ultimately this is about getting the realtors to start sending you their business, right? Because we're figuring out here is how to get clients as a mortgage broker, and so we got to just stay focused on that. Man, you can see I got one annoying fly in here. All right. So week 2, we're running the event here, right? I mean, ideally, again, we're going to go off this 20 number. If we get 20 realtors to show up at an event, we're freaking winning, okay? Don't forget that we are winning. Doesn't mean you have to have 20. You can have success with way less. I've had as little as 3 people show up to a class. If you want to watch us fail our way to success, check out reloshow.com, reloshow.com, and you can watch us try to take over a new market. We had a TV crew follow us around and attempt to do that. Okay, what's next, right? Because obviously hosting the class itself isn't the end result here. It's not the end goal. So what we're going to do is in week 3, we're going to follow up with the realtors that come. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a Zoom with them for 15 minutes, okay? You can see my left-handed chicken scratch here. We're going to Zoom with them for 15 minutes, and we're going to find out what gaps they have in their business. That's the whole point and the whole goal of doing a 15-minute Zoom with them is, number one, it's low commitment. So if this person turns out to be a jerk and you don't want to work with them, you just get off the Zoom, right? You're not tied into a 1-hour lunch with them as the very first meeting. We're just meeting them on Zoom the first time as a one-on-one. Because sometimes people are one way in a group and a different way as an individual. So here, the whole goal is how do we figure out what gaps they might have that we could fill in our business. Some gaps that we look for in the Legion, you know, in the Legion of Loan Officers, we actually have a 21-point checklist that we use at this meeting right here. Because if we can get them to give us yes or no answers to 21 questions, we can for sure find gaps that we can then go back and fill. And that's really what week 4 is about, right? Week 4 is about meeting with them one-on-one and actually filling gaps, okay? And then the way that we do this is we book 60 minutes with the realtor. And usually a 60-minute meeting that we book is going to turn into 75 minutes, 90 minutes, hour and a half is going to be more normal. And then you're going to have to dip out. Now, if you need to leave, what happens is you could always have a second one-on-one back here, right? In week 1, when we're just basically having the partners promoting, we could still be continuing those one-on-ones. What we found through this process right here, if you work this process, okay, through promoting the classes, hosting the classes, following up with them, it's going to take you 4 to 5 hours with a new realtor in order to get the first referral, okay? 4 to 5 hours. So how do we get that time? Well, if you run the event, let's just call this 90 minutes. All right. The Zoom, that's 15 minutes. So let's just say, for example, we need to get to, what's that, 240 minutes, let's say, for example. So we're at 90 minutes here plus 15, so now we're at 105. And then over here, we got, let's say, 90 minutes if we actually meet with them. We say it's an hour, it ends up being an hour and, hour and a half. So now we're at 180. We're really close already. So you might have to do one more one-on-one meeting to get to your 4 to 5 hours. And in your case, some realtors could be different. But that's what we found is 4 to 5 hours to get the first deal. Now, if you look on a national level right now, according to Realtor.com, the national average sales price, as I'm making this video, is $408,800. 408. So if we just use a normal commission, let's just say 150 bips, right? We're talking about here making about $6,000. So if it took you 4 hours or 5 hours to make $6,000, we're still making like over $1,000 an hour, I mean, we're talking about this is like really, really good money and really high use of time. And what's the best part about this is this whole thing, in order to get to a client, we're only talking about the very first client. We're not talking about all the value that a realtor is worth as a partner, I mean, an average realtor is worth 4 deals. So now if you times this, 4, we're talking about an average partner being worth about 1.6 million a year. And if you're making 150 bips, I mean, we're talking about good money here, right? We're talking about maybe $25,000 or kind of in that range, $22,000 to $25,000 worth of commission from every realtor partner that you would add by going through this process right here. Okay? So I mean, the math checks out. And let me know in the comments, like, if your math would be different. What is an average sales price in your market? What would you make from doing this process right here? But if you're a mortgage broker and you need to, you're trying to figure out how to get more clients, you could either go consumer direct, which I'm a fan of, but if you want long-term, high use of time, this process right here is going to be where I think you should focus, okay? There's other people with other plans. This is just what I found that works the best. If you want to just paint by numbers and you want to use my classes, my promotion process, my follow-up process, my forms, everything to make sure that this actually happens for you, then visit legionofloanofficers.com/commit and apply to join the Legion. All right, it's extremely affordable for the return on investment, and we're going to make sure that you actually win with this through our support structure, the community. We've given you 18 classes you can teach. So if you're doing these events on week 2, just teach my classes. I'll give you 18 of them. You'll never have to come up with another class for the rest of your mortgage career, okay? And so anyways, you can do this without me. Some people want to use my assistance and, shortcut the success, get a little shortcut to winning. But you can totally do this. You can figure this out on your own. And again, if you're a mortgage broker and you're trying to figure out how to get clients, how to get mortgage clients, and how to get referrals from realtors, or if you just needed some marketing ideas and some different, thought processes on how to go win in today's environment, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you have other questions, leave them in the comments, and I'm happy to make videos addressing any questions you have. And again, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button so you can get the notifications whenever I'm dropping new content. And we'll see you back on the next one. Out.